If you guys are trying to take your training to the next level and you want to increase your speed, your power, your conditioning, then you gotta check out Phil Daru's 8-week heavy hitter boxing program. I'm telling you guys right now, there's no
Man, shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation.
DBN Nation, of course, support DBN Nation. You're hearing it from Floyd Money Mayweather.
It's Terence Crawford, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
This is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation, baby.
Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo! Hey.
If you know, you know. Now, Lomachenko came out and made a couple comments about the Luke Campbell fight where he stated that was his toughest fight to date and that Luke Campbell hit like a mule. But something else he said that really got my attention was the fact that Luke Campbell gave him a hard time because he had long reach and he knew how to use his reach. Now, that being said, he basically stated that his kryptonite is Terence Crawford. And now I see why he never looked at Terence Crawford's way. And the reason he never responded to Terence Crawford when Terence stated on Instagram Live that if Lomachenko thinks he's pound for pound number one, we could link up somewhere at 137 if you want to. And Lomachenko and his team had nothing to say. However, before the fight with Luke Campbell, he stated he's pound for pound number one now. Then after the fight, he said it's up to the fans. But my question is, where did that confidence go? Or did he ruin it with his performance? See, a lot of people was expecting him to go through Luke Campbell, since Luke Campbell is only ranked number 5 in the division. You know, let's not forget, Luke Campbell is not a destroyer. You know, Luke Campbell does not have the biggest punching power in the division. He's not even a power puncher. He's a good puncher, but he's not a power puncher. You know, he got good skills, but he lacks in other departments like fighting in the inside and mid-range. So the fact that Lomachenko struggled with him and had his toughest fight just because he had a reach advantage and he knew how to use his reach, then how is Lomachenko gonna deal with a Devin Haney, a guy with more reach, possibly even taller, and a better boxer, control his distance better, could fight in the inside in case you get inside of that reach, and he could fight in the inside and mid-range. You know, Devin Haney could do it all. So if you have problems with Luke Campbell, then how you gonna look versus a Devin Haney? And if you felt Luke Campbell power, then how you gonna react to Tank Davis power? If you really thought Luke Campbell can box, then if you fight Shakur Stevenson, how you gonna deal with Shakur Stevenson? And these are young lions. We're not even talking about the Terence Crawfords of the world. We ain't even talking about the Manny Pacquiaos of the world. When Manny Pacquiao obviously offered him a fight at 40 years old, he turned that fight down for a reason, because he don't want them problems with Manny Pacquiao. So if you don't want the smoke with Manny Pacquiao, I know for a fact you never had your intentions on fighting Terence Crawford, no matter what weight he was going to fight you in. And that's why Lomachenko is not the number one pound for pound. Because, yeah, Luke Campbell had a gold medal, but he lost to Linares. And that's why he's ranked number 5 in the division. However, on the other hand, when Terence Crawford fought a gold medalist, and I'm not even talking about Gamboa, when he fought Flex Diaz at 140, when people was claiming Terence Crawford is ducking Flex Diaz, we saw what Terence Crawford did to Flex Diaz. We didn't see nobody call Terence Crawford out after that performance, obviously, other than Postal. And then we saw what Terence Crawford did to Postal. So at the end of the day, Terence Crawford performances and longevity speaks for itself. And that's why he's the number 1 pound for pound, because he's been doing this longer. He already achieved what Lomachenko is trying to achieve, which is undisputed at 135. So Terence Crawford is undefeated. Lomachenko is not. And Lomachenko never avenged that loss when he could have. So let Lomachenko get to 25 fights and let's see who he's able to defeat and how he looks against these guys before y'all compare him to Muhammad Ali and Roy Jones, which is absolutely ridiculous when he's not even better than a Terence Crawford today. And we know that because he basically stated his kryptonite is a fighter like Terence Crawford, who got long reach, that could box, that could move, that knows how to use their reach. And to make matter worse, like I stated, Crawford is a fighter who could fight in the inside and mid-range, unlike Campbell. You know, if Lomachenko get past that reach, then he got more bad news because Terence Crawford could get down on the kitchen as well. If Lomachenko brings a spoon, Terence Crawford is the type of fighter who will bring a knife. So at the end of the day, he could fight in the inside, mid-range, outside, and the fact that he got longer reach is sounding more like a suicide mission for Lomachenko if he fights with Terence Crawford. That's why that fight will never happen. So it took me by surprise when Lomachenko came out and stated that Campbell was his toughest fight. And for the people that was bashing me because I said Lomachenko struggled with Crawford, Lomachenko just basically agreed with me. So thank you, Lomachenko. And I know Lomachenko fans hate the guts out of Lomachenko for being honest, but to each your own. Now, I would disagree with Lomachenko comments. I believe his toughest fight should have been Salido. Obviously, he don't want to make that claim because he lost to Salido. But obviously, Salido took him to the Mexican school, schooled him on a thing or two. And then Lomachenko turned it up in the 12th and 11th round, I believe, where he almost got a knockout. He knocked him down, I believe, with a body shot because Salido, as we all know, he struggled to make the weight, but he was a washed fighter at the time, and he still managed to school Lomachenko from round one. You know, it was a lot of great things that Salido did that nullified a lot of things Lomachenko likes to do. Even when he likes to pivot to the right against the orthodox fighter, Salido took that play away from him by actually switching stands from orthodox to southpaw and throwing mad left hooks. So that nullified a lot of things Lomachenko wanted to do, and it frustrated him, and that's why Salido took him to school. And the body work and the head work was just beautiful to see by Salido, the way he put it together for one last big fight to put on his resume since he been in the pro game for like 2 decades. So obviously Lomachenko, after that, he never fought a Salido or that type of opponent where he brings straight up Mexican style. You know, he been fighting kind of fighters that got skill but lack in certain departments, or fighters with hella disadvantages like Rigondeaux. So it's 2 things that I got out of the Campbell fight. There's 2 different type of kryptonites for Lomachenko, which is a Salido, a Mexican style type of fighter, or an American style type of fighter like a Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather is not even his kryptonite. That's his self-destruct button right there. But I would say a Terence Crawford, a Devin Haney, these are his kryptonites. However, a Salido or a Mexican style type of fighter, Lomachenko has a chance against, but it's just going to be a tough, ugly fight for Lomachenko. Now, stylistically, the guy who's supposed to give Lomachenko the most problems, I believe, is Shakur Stevenson, because he's a southpaw. He a great boxer. He could fight in the inside and the outside, because obviously we all know he won't fight Terence Crawford, but I'm talking about a possible opponent he could fight. I believe Shakur Stevenson is his nightmare right there because of his style and obviously due to his skills. But on top of that, the fact that he's a southpaw, Lomachenko won't be able to do his favorite pivots and take the angles that he would like to take. So he has to fight more traditional against another southpaw like Shakur Stevenson. And we all know Shakur Stevenson, he got the reach, he got the skill, he could fight in the inside, he could fight in the outside. So let's see how Lomachenko looks versus a fighter that could do it all, like a Shakur Stevenson. You know, a fighter that doesn't lack in certain departments, like Luke Campbell do. And let's see how Loma looks against a Tank Davis. If he thought Luke Campbell hit hard, then I wonder what he thinks about Tank Davis' power once he get hit. You know, I want to see how he going to react to Tank Davis. So at the end of the day, all these fights are interesting fights. That's why they shouldn't overhype Lomachenko and make all these crazy claims for Loma when they're not doing him justice, because Lomachenko end up getting bashed because he can't live up to the performance or to the expectations that the fans have of him, that the media already put him on this pedestal that he can't live up to. So instead of Loma getting credit for the performance he had against Luke Campbell. He ended up getting bashed because he can't live up to the expectations the fans have of him due to the media overhyping him and claiming he the best thing since Muhammad Ali, which is absolutely not true. And the fact that they keep overhyping him, it will be Lomachenko's downfall because he won't be able to live up to these expectations because he's just not that good of a fighter. You have to go back and snatch a Roy Jones and bring him to this time in order to live up to what they've been saying about Lomachenko. And he's not the talent that Roy Jones was. He a top 3 pound for pound fighter, but not close to being the talent that Roy was, and not even the talent that Terence Crawford is today. So why we even gotta go way far back? So at the end of the day, subscribe below if you're trying to get smart about them, and if you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't listen to Bob Arum or Lomachenko fans. And at the end of the day, follow Lontoon Boxing for the funniest boxing memes. All the links will be in the description box below, and to be continued on the next episode of Aki TV. Peace, and we out.